I didn't enjoy identifying recovery as some sense of brokenness.
Yeah.
For me, that was really fundamentally
Yeah.
off. It just didn't work for me. It
I
just
get
didn't
it.
work for me. Right.
Yeah.
And when we talked, and you basically like said the same thing. I was like, and I hadn't heard a lot of people say that, by the way,
Yeah.
that
A
I'm
lot
no,
of people want to be in the camp that once an addict, always an addict.
right. Right.
Yeah.
And so that part is so incredibly, empowering for people who struggle with just the dissonance of wanting to take the steps of recovery, but not really wanting to embrace an identity
Exactly.
of forever brokenness, right? You know what I mean?
And I think it's important. I think it's important not to identify by what we struggle with, but see our struggles as a reasonable response to how we're living or what we've experienced,
Yeah.
right? And to say that I am an addict is a false narrative, right? My substance abuse makes complete sense. If you look at the disconnection and the shame and all the things that have happened, and then you look at what the first time I used substances, right? The first time I used Adderall, it was the most successful thing I've ever found to escape that pain.
Right. Right.
It
It
was,
works.
I bonded with it so well because I knew no other way to escape that pain. I had not yet learned that it was okay not to know. And so I was ashamed
Yeah.
and I was afraid.
Yeah.
And Adderall was like, I got you, man. I
Right.
got you.
Right.
For the first time, it was like somebody was giving me a hug saying, I got you covered. And I think that, people who are addicts are not criminals. People who are depressed are not sick. People who are suicidal are not crazy. Every one of those is a human being in pain.
Mm.
And I think that if we stop identifying people by what they struggle with, it'll be easier for us to listen to what they need. And then we'll see that their pain makes sense. And then we can be that person who sits down and says, I don't really care what's the matter with you. I want to help you reconnect to what matters to you. And that is the most important thing, I think, in recovery, is to say that, what if there's nothing wrong with me? What if I'm just no longer meaningfully connected to everything that's ever mattered to me?
Right.
Now, how can I build those reconnections? I'm not saying substance abuse is a good thing. I think, obviously,
Right.
people who are struggling with substance abuse have to address that as an issue. But it isn't the problem. It's a symptom. It's a reasonable response to what's going on.
Yeah.